I don't even see the code anymore. I only see the truth.
Today's video is a little different from what I usually make, but it is a discussion that I would like to have, and then I think that we as content creators and people who simply use YouTube for entertainment and education should talk about. Hit pieces have always been on YouTube ecosystem. We are all familiar with titles such as "He's done," "His career is over," "He's just destroyed everything," "He said this and instantly regretted," "Life ruined." It isn't a new phenomenon. However, lately this has become a thing a lot of people try to make. Why? Generally speaking, in my experience, there are two reasons as to why someone would even try to make a hit piece, because it does take some time to research them properly, edit them together, film them, write the script, etc. One is the most obvious one, is the monetary gain. Oftentimes these videos are inflammatory in nature, they get a lot of views, they're very negative and people love it. So if you're already a monetized channel, they can make you a huge chunk of money, and if you're a small channel trying to grow, it could be your introduction to monetization. But then there is a second reason, and that one is malicious in nature. In other words, sometimes people make hit pieces simply because they truly dislike, even hate, the creator they're targeting, and they are doing it because they are hoping to be able to destroy their income and possibly remove their ability to provide for their families. There are of course shades of grey, but let's work with these two categories for simplicity's sake. For our analysis to be complete and thorough, we don't need to enter another factor, whether or not a hit piece is successful. Success can have to do with the number of views they get, but success also has to do with whether or not it impacts negatively the person who is being targeted. I would like to now review 3 cases in which hit pieces were actually successful at damaging the reputation and career of the target creator, and then show you the opposite situation of a content creator who, regardless being targeted by many hit pieces, was never hit. Me. Oh, my haters are gonna hate this one. I don't know what to tell you, the truth is a bitch. Case in point number 1, we've got Pirate Software. Case number 2 of a recipient of a recent series of hit pieces is of course Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers, and case number 3 for our analysis is going to be Carl Jobst. The whole situation with Pirate Software of course has to do with his continuous disapproval against the Stop Killing Game initiative, and of course I, being someone who supported the initiative, clearly disagreed with his positions in the first place. But today is not really about that, it's about what happened as a result of all the hit pieces made about him. Every time that there is a hit piece that is successful in damaging the reputation of a YouTuber, what you see is a colossal decrease in subscribers. And if you see this, 10,000, 10,000 lost, 10,000 lost, 10,000 lost, 90,000, 40,000 lost, this is a clear indication that the hit pieces are working, whether you agree with them or not. In the case of Some Ordinary Gamers of Mutahar, of course, this had to do with some statements that he made when it comes to him being a professional engineer. Now, whether or not you're a fan of Mutahar or not, this is beyond the point. You could think, yeah, he shouldn't have done that and I don't want to watch him anymore, or you could think, it's not that big deal, I don't care, I want to watch him. Were this hit pieces successful in addressing his audience perception of him? And as we see, of course, it's not as dramatic as what we saw with Pirate Software. But there you go, we got a substantial loss of subscribers as well, so there are definitely at least 30,000 people. And we can see the deeps here in the analytics that were his subscribers. This is critical for our evaluation here, that watched those videos and did not like what happened and decided they didn't want to subscribe to him anymore. And as the third example, of course, the situation with Carl Jobst has to do with his lawsuit against Billy Mitchell. Carl Jobst lost the lawsuit, but that's not really the point. The point was the fact that some people felt misled by the way Carl described the reason behind the lawsuit, which most people thought had to do with defamation against Billy Mitchell because he called him a fraud when it comes to the gaming space. But in reality, Billy Mitchell was suing him for a defamation case that had to do with accusations of responsibility or causation of the loss of the life of another content creator. Let's see how his audience in general reacted to the hit pieces. As you see, we have generally speaking a loss of 10,000 subscribers, and we can see the downward spikes. Now, there are a lot of other cases that I could discuss, for instance, Dr. Disrespect situation, but I believe I've made my case here. So, if you notice, one of the things that I underlined is the success of a hit piece has to do with how the subscribers or the audience of the target responds to the hit piece. And that's the only metric that matters. Because here is the thing. If someone makes a hit piece from a community that already hates that YouTuber, what his community thinks of said YouTuber means nothing because there is no change. You follow me on that? The only thing that matters is whether or not there is a change in the community of the YouTuber who is the target of the hit piece. When it comes to me, it's been years now that people have been making hit pieces. He's done, he's finished. One was, of course, Alec Gunter, who called me a racist, a fascist, a Nazi, and all the rest. These are his videos. In fact, people have been trying to present me as what I'm not for so long now. And this has been happening ever since I dared to make statements that, even though they were truthful, they were uncomfortable truths because they went against whatever cult that they belonged to, whether it be through history, whether it be through politics, or whether it be any other tribalistic positions. Of course, you will remember my clash against the Afrocentric community. There is this guy, Duke It Out, who decided to dedicate an entire channel to try and expose me and calling me a grifter and all the rest. And of course, the most recent ones being Freda specifically, getting hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views. So, it should come to reason that after all of these hundreds of thousands of cumulative defamatory views against me, we should see a similar pattern in my social blade. Am I right? Nothing. I keep going up. Nothing. 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 No downward spikes, nothing. Just happened. Over 600 or 700,000 of cumulative views in the last, what, month alone? Nothing. My subscribers don't care. Why? Because you guys are solid, and I freaking love you for it.
Metatron, fascist.
You're a useful idiot, at best.
And nobody likes you, so we just don't care.
Idiot?
Dumbass. And probably a white supremacist.
It's really stupid.
You're probably just a Nazi. You're not smart, man.
So much garbage.
Stupid.
And I've come to despise him because of some of his content.
Okay?
And of course, this is already a cross line when you misrepresent my opinions, where you twist my words like Freda did, when you attach descriptive words to me that I do not attach to myself, and that incorrectly represent me and my way of thinking. All of this is in reality unacceptable. But we know that there are bad people in the world, and they have cameras, and they have audiences, and it doesn't matter because their audiences hate me anyways, and so whatever they do, yeah, it makes them money, good for them. But when it comes to me, it doesn't do anything because I go, you are stand-up guys and girls, I suppose. You are good people, and most importantly, differently from what they think, you're not stupid, and you can see right through their lies. The split second you start watching a video and you see, Metatron is racist, Metatron's positions are dangerous. When you start hearing stuff like that, you're like, what are you on about? I've been watching the guy for 10 years. Because they don't care about the truth. It is all about shaming other people simply because they have a different idea, a different position, because they have a cultist mentality. That's how it works. Anyways, the main reason why I decided to make this video today is because I want to thank you. Thank you for staying solid. Thank you for being honorable people and for standing by me for all these years, even against such blatant, ruthless attacks at my person. I really appreciate that. You're true friends because of that, and I will never forget it. Thank you for your support. It means the world to me. Now, since we did mention the fact that they are making money off of trying to shame my name and whatever, then I decided, how about we also make some money using their hatred as a catalyst for views? What I'm talking about is merch drop. You weren't expecting that one, were you? Proudly presenting the pendant of the Noble One. Look at this beauty. Original custom design created by me in collaboration with Viking Jewelry. And it's my way to celebrate all of you, because as you know, I've been calling you Noble Ones for the last 12 years. Well, this is indeed the pendant of you, the Noble Ones, who are the Custos Veritatis, written here in Latin, and it means keeper of truth, because that's the only thing that matters. The truth, whether it offends them or not. So, available in both silver and bronze. I think my favorite is the bronze one, but they're both great. And this can be bought as a set, as we offer the original ring of the Noble One, available in silver, bronze, and gold, the bracelet of the Noble One, silent oath of truth, and a more low-profile version of the ring for those who prefer something a little thinner, which we offer also in bronze, silver, 14-karat gold, and 18-karat gold. Use the code NOBLE1 for a 15% discount at checkout, and massive thanks to each and every single one of you, and thank you to my haters for supporting my work. Why don't hit pieces work on me, apart from the fact that you guys are awesome? But why don't hit pieces work on me? And I want to be clear about this. This is not because I'm some kind of special guy, or look at me, or I'm smart and all that. That's not the reason. It's because they are lies. And you subscribers can see right through them. That's the reason. It's as simple as that. You see, whenever we look at the other YouTubers that were hit, generally speaking, what was said about them is true. Whether you like him or not, it is true that Carl made some mistakes when it comes to his lawsuit and the way he organized and discussed his crowdfunding, and he admitted it publicly. He said, yes, I was wrong, I made some mistakes, so the accusations weren't false. Mutahar, some ordinary gamer, same. He did say that he was an engineer for 10 years, and he admitted that at the end, so they were not lies. Differently from the other two, even though all the accusations against him were also true, he did not admit shit. But it is so blatantly obvious that what he's being called out for is true, and of course this still affected him from the perspective of his audience. But all of this is false. You really want to know the truth? You're not ready for the truth. Do you want to see my angel face? Do you want to see what I actually look like without the human filter? Okay. I am the Metatron. Filter back on before they start panicking. These humans. While they may have some minute critiques that, if given in a civil way, I would be more than happy to sit down and discuss, the main arguments that they push are false. They accuse me to be a fascist. Yeah, everybody watching me knows I'm not a fascist. They accuse me of being a racist. Every one of you, my subscribers, you know I'm not racist. They accuse me of being all the types of phobic. You know I'm not. They accuse me of being biased, which is the stupidest one, because I've always said I try to be as unbiased as possible, but I also say that it is impossible to be 100% unbiased. And so all I can do is try to look at the data, review it, and then give the facts whether or not I like them. And in order to help myself doing that, I use a team. But of course, it's so funny. It is so funny when they try to deny that I have a team, even though I showed them on screen. And of course, my audience knows that. And I can continue with the obvious accusations. They call me far-right. Sometimes when I do make videos, like when I made the video on Michelangelo, we read his letters in Italian, medieval Italian, we translated them, and I think he was homosexual. Then I actually upset the other side, and some people called me woke. But I think, is any of you objectively going to think, I think Metatron is woke, I don't think anyone is going to think that. So once again, it doesn't really matter who is attacking me. It's just that oftentimes, whenever these people make these sort of hit pieces to destroy me, and the Afrocentrists are the funniest one ever, the stuff that they say, they call me, what do they call me? A Neanderthal hybrid, like the stuff they can, but then I'm the racist. It is so obvious. That is laughable. So what my subscribers do, because you guys are solid, is that either you ignore them. Many of you tell me that, like, oh yeah, I started watching it, I saw what it was, they were just calling you names. They were, like, for instance, Freda stating that I somehow have a problem with women in video game, which is obviously false, because he doesn't watch my content, but you guys do, so you know the truth. It's like trying to argue about mathematics with a mathematician when you have never taken a class in maths. That's what these people are doing, because they're arguing with you. It's just that they don't watch my content. They watch 2 videos and then they just judge me by the thumbnails, while you guys have been following me for years, and then they come and tell you what I say. It's ridiculous. All of them, every single one that I mentioned, they all do this. It's laughable. But by the way, apparently me laughing upsets them. So I'm going to continue. And I would like to underline one thing about that. I laugh at haters because I noticed in my experience, 12 years on the platform, is that if I get angry, which I would, of course, because what are my options? When someone calls me a monster, a hater, a fascist, a Nazi, woke, as I say sometimes, woke, or the Wokatron, the Metachad, when they use all of these insults, right? And you know that they are not real. That you know that that's not you. Like, I know myself. I know how I think. I know the contents of my heart. So when I see that, I don't have many options. It's either I get really angry out of righteous indignation, or I laugh, or I do nothing. And I'll be honest, probably doing nothing would be the better choice, but between getting angry and laughing, I noticed that when I do get angry, which used to happen many years ago, it would make my whole day bad. Like, it would poison my day. And I thought I shouldn't allow the toxicity of people who are just haters for the sake of hating to have an effect on the way I live my life, right? So I tried laughing whenever I see something and they say it, make a statement like that. A true historian wouldn't say that, or things like this. I laugh, and I notice that when I laugh, it washes over. Nothing. I literally laugh. Like, I laugh. Maybe it's a way to trick the brain into thinking this is nonsense, which it is. I think it's a way to trick the brain into thinking that it is actually funny, because it's not. But when I laugh and I go, what on earth is he on about? You see, it makes me smile. And when I notice that when I finish my video or whatever it is, my comment, my post, then I'm happy. Like, I go to my wife, or at the time I was talking to my mother, or whatever it is. And yeah, I notice that it's great. It's great. So I laugh, and I will continue to do so. Whenever I see like the haters telling me, making accusations, you're a grifter, and I laugh. I'm like, ha ha ha. I literally type it because I am laughing as I'm reading it. And that's how it is. It works. So you should try it. If you see that you're someone who gets really angry with your pressure up, then you should try that. Now, there have been situations in my life where these kind of dishonest hit pieces that were targeted at me really did annoy me. And this is when people cross lines. All right, number ones, I really appreciate you being here. Of course, I will respond to these. I'll respond to the next Freda video. I'll respond to everything. Don't worry about it. I'll do it. It's just that I prefer to not make too many drama videos in a row. I'll make the occasional drama video. If you don't like it, skip it. But I do prefer to still keep working on my other ethnogenesis videos, my other historical content, because it's a lot more fun. But I will respond. Absolutely, I will respond, and I'll respond in kind. So expect that happening very soon. All right, number ones, I appreciate your time. Thank you for watching, and thank you for your continued support. Have a good one. If you appreciate my content so far and wish to help ensure my ability to continue to tell it how it is, regardless of any possible backlash, please support this channel on Patreon. Any support helps me and my team of academics keep the channel strong and gives us the means to fight back against the political rewriting of history. Stand with us, form the wall, defend the truth.